Hey, how's it going, everybody? What's going on, YouTube? So, I'm just kind of hanging out, killing some time. It's late at night. I've been cleaning my house and thought I would do a little bit of a podcast. MGTOW went mainstream. It was on CNN. I saw that, and I thought it was a little bit of a whitewash. And or not so much a whitewash. What was I left a comment on somebody on Sydney MGTOW's channel or something on the video, but I said, oh, that's what I said. I said all that's happening is we're forcing the media to talk about it, and that's a kind of a thing that happens when a truth gets when something gets so ugly and the truth starts getting out and the media can't cover it up anymore, so they had Lisa Lang go in there and pretend to cry and act like, oh, I had no idea this is going on. Oh, you didn't know there were men everywhere, like all around you, Lisa Lang, that can't see their kids. Yeah, yeah. What neighborhood do you live in? You live in some gated, rich community where of like the few people left on the planet that are living the American dream, basically, surrounded by with security guards and with guns and stuff. As you're like as all these people are anti-gun too. But yeah, it's just incredible. And I've been seeing a lot of PUAs and stuff in anti-MGTOW, and I noticed the anti-MGTOWs, they always go for the weak. They go for weak. Well, I wouldn't say weak, but more easy. They always go for easy targets, and they pick the guys that just kind of flaunt, that like flaunt, that are materialist, that flaunt materialism, kind of, show their watches, and just talk negative or not negatively, and just talk about women, basically what they think about women's, what their opinion on women's nature, and they won't go after the MGTOW who have children, who've been through the ringer in the family courts, and these PUA, man, they hate women. I don't know what it is, man. These pickup artists, man, they just hate women, and they don't even give any new advice. Like they put up I've already said this, but they're so redundant. Like society is so redundant on how to treat women. It's like it's all been said, but they just keep saying it over and over. That's incredible. Like people don't get it or something. So, and a lot of the stuff that they tell you that that the PUAs talk about that they have to deal with to be with all these women makes you wonder, like, why would you let, like, you just hit it and quit it because of women's nature. And then you talk about women's nature and how to get around all of their issues to get to sleep with them, basically. And it's like, what? But all the issues that you were just talking about getting around, it's like, man, it's kind of like going out of your way to find druggies to be friends with. Like, hey, being friends with crackheads and meth heads and like heroin addicts when you're not, like you're straight. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know, it's like or something. You know what I mean? It's like why would you put? And they wouldn't. They wouldn't do that for men. You know what I mean? But they'll do it for women, boy. It's incredible. instead of because they're not real men, and they hate. I don't even. Well, I wouldn't say the in the title of this I put PUAs are weak and hate women, but I guess the weak part of it is they're weak. They don't necessarily they hate women. They don't realize it because they don't want to correct. They don't want to try to correct anything. Now MGTOW, what people seem to forget is that MGTOW is walking away after men's rights failed to inject common sense back into the system. You know what I mean? So that, in other words, nothing has worked. Society hates men, treats them like shit, and takes any opportunity to make sure that they can't improve their their status as a gender. But then, it's incredible, man. Like basically, I'm losing track. Let me regather my thoughts here. Yeah, yeah. Hence MGTOW. You know what I mean? Like all else has failed. Society has proven to just do backflips through, do millions, do a 50,000 back. What do you call that? Uh, when you land on your hands and then your feet and your hands going backwards and then into like backflips and shit. You know what I mean? Through like fucking flaming hoops for women. You know what I mean? And just shit and give them all the women and or give them all the children and all the fucking money and fucking just give them everything, earned income tax credit, abortion, so they can give women full control, shit all over men. You know what I mean? Society's proven to do this, so hence MGTOW. That's the part that people seem to forget. Hence MGTOW. You know what I'm saying? Like I tried for years. Hence MGTOW. I tried to talk common sense into the system for years, and people say I hate women. My friends whose girlfriends beat them's friends. Like my friends who have friends who have a girlfriend who beat them, who have girlfriends who treat them like complete shit. My friend said he like stands up. The last time he was here, he said, "Well, I stood up to her." It's like, well, why would you put yourself through that? But I didn't want to talk about it with him anymore. That was live. You can go watch that video unless it got taken down. One of my videos got completely taken down. But anyway, yeah. So my point being is, my friends who have girlfriends who treat them like shit and hate all their friends, their friends just say that they won't call my friends' girlfriends on it, but they'll call me out for calling out their girlfriends and say, so the whole town just says I hate women. Do you understand? Hence MGTOW. You know what I mean? Hence MGTOW. That's the only reputation I've earned myself in this town, and I'm a distinguished guy. I have kept my nose clean. I've stayed out of trouble. I have not joined gangs. I have not done drugs. I have not got busted with prostitutes. I have not, I'm not downtown trying to stick my dick in prostitutes. I'm not, I'm a upright motherfucker. I used to call the local radio show, debate with legislators. This debate, I had the mayor in this town give me accolades for the debating I was doing, trying to fix fucking things in this town. And the radio show eventually got shut down, by the way. And when I first started calling, everybody was laughing at me, calling me a fucking, saying I was crazy. But after about 3 years into this radio show, it was called Open Mic. It was on WBRK, which is nationwide, but it was on like this, it wasn't like this radio station was nationwide, but it was all over Massachusetts. So there was like, I'm just trying to say, I have credibility. I have no criminal record. I'm from a family full of veterans. This is why I say all this stuff, because I'm trying to let you know how it can turn out for a man this day when you are from a decent family. I'm not rich or anything. I'm from good stock. I'm from good stock. You know what I mean? And there's no reason for me. I'm saying like 50 years ago, I'd probably be married, have 8 kids. You know what I mean? Or 80 years ago, I'd probably be married, have 8 kids, have a fairly, pretty good marriage. My family's done this for eons. It's only now when everything's all based on putting gel in your hair and fashion and tattoos and having fucking piercing. It's not based on like, hey, can you sit out in the woods all day in the freezing cold and get a deer? Which I'm going to be hunting here. I'm trying to kill some time, but you know what I'm saying? It's not like, can you defend the country if it's attacked? It's like, how many piercings and fucking tattoos do you fucking have, and do you have drug connections? You know what I mean? It's like, it's and I'm going into this deeper shit than women here. A lot of men are sucked into this bullshit too. I was just commenting on an anti MGTOW, some little bitch boy with like pink hair, tattoos, and he's like, he's showing like that kid Kurt. I don't know his name. He's from like Brooklyn or Bronx, New York. You know what I mean? He's probably tougher than this kid realizes, and yeah, and he's, you know what I mean? Because you can say what you want, you know what I mean, but don't go. You can say somebody from New York is weak, but they are from like Bronx or Brooklyn, and they see a lot of bullshit, and you're best off to not fuck with people from like, you know what I mean, from like fucking from like fucking Brooklyn, the Bronx, fucking Trenton, New Jersey, and all these cities. You know what I mean? You don't go fucking with these people. I'm a hunter. I'm a pretty hardened individual, and I've seen some. I've been in some fights. I've disfigured a dude for life before. Like I'm no joke either. But I don't go to fucking Brooklyn or the Bronx looking for trouble. Because if you want to, because as I've heard it said in a movie in New York, you don't have to find trouble. Trouble comes and finds you in New York. And this guy's picking on this MGTOW guy that I listen to every now and then, and I know he's from like Brooklyn or something. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, yeah, that kid would probably whoop your fucking ass, you little bitch. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm just saying, man. And he's probably got plenty of friends that'll whoop your ass too. But I'm just saying, anybody who's listening that knows anything about like New York and the Bronx and shit like that. I mean, those people fight every day. So it's like growing up on the border in Texas. It's those kids down there come home and fight like 3 Mexicans every fucking day. You know what I'm saying? Those white kids that are growing up down on the border near Mexico. I mean, I had a cousin that grew up, you know what I mean, down there, and he's like, oh, dude, walking home from school, it's like almost every day he would get jumped by like a Mexican kid or something. You know what I mean? So there's, I know that's, that there's certain areas where people grow up where, if you know anything about those areas, you don't go there fucking looking for trouble. You know what I mean? But so like, yeah. My point being is, the PUAs don't want to fix things, and and we will never go back to any of that. I'm a traditionalist and I'm a Christian, but I'm also a realist, and I understand that those times are over. As a Christian, I understand that those times are over. We're in a new season right now, and this is a season that if it keeps up, it's going to be bedlam. It's just a new season. You're not required to go forth and multiply and have big families. I mean, there's war coming, basically, possibly even civil war in this country. I mean, the gender war is just, the lid is blowing off, basically, and the race wars isn't much. The racial shit isn't much better. and the jobs they like, I've been listening to. I like We Smell Corruption. I comment on his shit every now and then. I'm not afraid. I don't. Some channels will not mention other channels, but I want young men to find decent influences, and and that's another channel like that kind of talks about that's how it is in this town. It's like all the, you go out to try to work in the workforce, and it's all druggies now, and yeah, and prostitution everywhere. I mean, everything is fucked. Everything is effed. I got this is not a show for kids, I guess. As soon as you start swearing in your videos, I guess you start probably getting censored or whatever. And I don't want. I mean, in this society, if me swearing in front of your kid is the worst thing, then I got whatever, I guess. But so anyway, yeah, it's just incredible. And anti-MGTOW people are weak, just weakness, just absolute weakness. Inability, put up with anything, put up with anything. You ever meet somebody that will just put up with anything, man? They will just, you're just like, why would you put up? That's what I sit here as MGTOW, all these people around me. You just watch my video with my friend he's a bit of, he's like purple pill, I guess. He understands MGTOW concepts fully, but I guess he can't get rid of his girlfriend. I guess he has tried to get rid of her. She's fucking stalking him. I guess it's incredible. But I'm just saying, my friend, he doesn't quite put up with anything, but he puts up with a lot. But I know people that will put up with anything. It's incredible. If he's watching, hey, what's up? What's up, bro? So I just have so much fun hunting, man. I went out today, and man, there was like 6 deer ran by me, like full speed, like almost didn't even give a shit I was even there. They must have been. I heard gunshots going off. There were other hunters in the area. You're taking your chances out there, man, with slugs flying around, but it's still fun. But man, big deer. But they're going so fast. I mean, none of them had that big of a rack, or I would have took a shot. You know what I mean? But what I'm trying to say is I couldn't see any rack, which means if there were anything at all, there was a spike horn or two. But it's hard to tell in the woods. There's fucking branches. You know what I mean? There's even if they're 50 feet away or 30 feet. I mean, these things ran by me not that far away. I'm so well camouflaged, even walking down the middle of the road. Like, they don't see me till they're on top of me. And so basically and I hide my scent really well. And, I have certain techniques that I do. I don't like to give out all my techniques, but these things were hauling. I was like a herd of deer went by me, man. Or well, three at a time, or was it 5 altogether? 3 at once, one time, and then 2. And I couldn't see one goddamn, not even a spike, not even a fucking spike. Now I'm using new equipment, and and when I and when the first what was it 3 went by me up on top of the mountain where I set up. I'm late to the game again. Everybody's all set up. I'm walking and looking for a place. Stuart's late to the party again. But anyway, yeah, when it was just what I'm trying to say is when if I would have seen a rack when the first 3 ran by me, I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't have got a shot off because I would have forgot to. I'm using an optics lens. It's like a little red dot on a piece, almost like a scope. You know what I mean? But when you look through it, you just see a red dot or a green dot, whatever you want. And and it has a battery, and I wouldn't have even I wouldn't even have thought to turn that thing on. I thought I was acting like I had a scope on my gun. But it didn't matter because I couldn't see any antlers. Maybe the buck that was with him got killed. And then I got down the bottom. This is on my way out, all this. Then I got down the bottom, and I hear crunch, crunch, crunch. I turn around. There goes one right behind me, probably about 50 yards away, which is what I'm sighted in for. Couldn't see anything on it. Just right out in the open. And then I'm like, oh, what's this? A little deer, uh, little deer run right here. So I walk a little ways in, check that out, trying to see if I can see any prints in the snow. And crunch, crunch, crunch. Here comes another one. It ran like 30 feet in front, like literally 30 feet, just crossed the deer run right in front of me. I even whistled at it to try to get it to stop this so I could see. These deer run so fucking fast, man. Like if it does have 3-inch spikes on it, you can't. They got ears and shit. You know what I mean? There's branches. You can't see. They got to be standing still. You know. So I was like that, and it didn't even care I was there. It didn't even change direction or anything. I was like, hey, hey, and I like waved at it. I just wanted it to fucking stop, and it just like I thought it might like halt to a stop or something. It didn't. It just ran right. It must have figured I hadn't shot at it yet, and so I wasn't gonna shoot at it, and it just ran right across the trail. It was a kind of a small one, but man, if I would have saw spikes on it, I would have popped it. You know what I mean? Couldn't see anything. Couldn't see any antlers today, man. Fucking sucked. And I don't got a doe permit because once again, I'm late to the party. I didn't apply for this. I'm gonna apply. Man, last year too. I'm telling you, there's so many doe. Last year too, if I would have got a doe, I gotta apply for the doe lottery. Try to get a doe ticket, doe tag. Oh, but yeah, I didn't want it. You can't just shoot at anything now. You know, it's the fucking law. I'm not even out there hunting for sport. Like I'll shoot anything I can eat is the issue. You know what I mean? Everything's just so upside down. I should have been able to. Fuck, I could have came home with a deer today if the fucking government didn't run every fucking thing. I'm telling you. But that's how that goes. So no deer tag, no doe tag, no doe. Some people will just jack it, and I'm afraid to do that because I like hunting. So there's people out there that would have just hit that doe, field dressed it, somehow got their fucking their truck in there, you know what I mean, or waited for everyone to be gone and dragged it out at dark, threw it in their fucking truck to get home and ate it. You know what I mean? They're not. There's people out there that aren't afraid to do that shit. I'm afraid to do that because I really like hunting and I don't want to lose my right. Yeah, my right. I don't want to lose my privilege to hunt. So I won't do that type of stuff. But I was using my 12 gauge Remington 1187, and it's a bit of a fucking tank. But I got the shorter hunting barrel on it for the rifle, for the Sabo slugs, not the rifled slugs. Never shoot a. I don't know why they do that, but the rifled slugs are not rifled. The Sabo slugs are. Just in case, just so you know, any of you that don't know anything about guns, here's a very important lesson. If you ever have a shotgun and you need to use it, look down, not look, open it up and, make sure it's not loaded, of course. But past all that, I'm just saying the barrel. If you look down the barrel and it's smooth bore, you don't see any threading, spiral threading, then, it's a rifled slug. Why? I don't know, but it's called a rifled slug. And then there's no rifling in the barrel, but they call it a rifled slug. And then if you look down the barrel and you see that spiraled threading cut into the inner barrel to put a spin on whatever goes through it, then you need a Sabo slug. Just letting you know, very important information. You don't want to mix up your slugs with your different barrels. I mean, there's a combination that could blow your barrel off, probably you could get hurt, you know what I mean? Just letting you know, little gun safety tip right there. So I'm using the 12 gauge with Sabo slugs and a rifled barrel and an optic lens. And I bought a scope at Walmart because I finally am starting to have a little bit of cash around on me. And but I can't change scopes. I got 8, I don't want to. I'd have to go to the range, and I don't want to waste a day at the range. I got to go hunting. So I guess I'm stuck with the optic lens. So but man, I saw a couple great places to sit. So I'm gonna go back in there, and hopefully I'm gonna pop a deer this year. If I don't even care. I'm having a lot of fun out there. Having a lot of fun. It's a great thing to. I'm messing around here. I guess the sound is good. Steve Hoka, rock and roll, MGTOW. Oh man, Carly's here. All Dicks Matters here. There's some pretty funny people in the house. Steve Hoka, rock and roll, MGTOW. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Thanks for joining. Sky, what's up? Sky did come in as. So, yeah. So back to what I was talking about, and besides all the hunting stuff, it is fun though. I mean, people that don't see, if that's what I'm talking about. Like, so, it's not hunting. All right, like I was talking to this, or I was leaving a reply on this guy's board that was talking about. I don't know. I forgot if he had a MGTOW video or whatever, but I told him, he's saying being an alpha male was basically banging chicks. And it's like, how the hell is that being an alpha male? Just banging chicks, man. Just banging chicks. Like, in what? Letting me take care of your kids basically on welfare? Like, what do you mean? Like, and I was like, no, being an alpha male, and I mentioned, was basically, going in the woods in the freezing cold dark with, what I mean? And fucking, especially with a bow, never mind a gun. And, being able to, sit there, not move for hours, not sniffle, not cough, not wipe your nose. And there's more to it than this. Like, you think I'm telling you some macho shit, like, oh, I'll go in the woods and I'll kill a deer. No, people are missing the point. You're missing the point. If you can't do that, if you can't even do that, because let me tell you, there's guys out there, there's like, if you're, this guy was talking about, he said back to me, like, oh, that's just survival instinct, he said to me. He said to me that everything I'm talking about is just survival instinct. Well, let me tell you something. A lot of people have lost their survival instincts because if you go out there and try to do what I'm talking about with a bow, especially with a bow, go out, sit in the freezing cold for hours, on end, 4 or 5 hours, sometimes below zero in a tree stand or something. You know what I mean? And hardly even move. You know what I mean? Or make a sound, not cough, anything, and then wait for a deer to come by, and then be able to take an accurate shot at that deer in the woods. Now with a bow, I mean, it's hard enough to get a bullet. Do people understand how hard? This is why hunting is so challenging, man. The animal rights activists think that hunters just go in there and bang, 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 like there's fucking like there's just dead animals everywhere. No, 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 no. Those, let me tell you something. These animals, they get away from predators for a living. Do you understand what I'm saying? They're not like you. They're not like, see, your first first survival instinct would be to get the fuck out of that tree and go home. Do you understand what I'm saying? The average man now, the average male now, he says, oh, that's just survival instinct. Really? Then go do it, because the average male survival instinct now would be to not go out in the woods in the dark, freezing cold. Most people are scared. I'm fucking paranoid, especially with just a bow. And you're not allowed to carry a sidearm with you when you got to have either a bow or a pistol. You understand? You could be out hiking and say you got the pistol for protection. but you can't be out hunting with a bow and a pistol, and that scares me because, but anyway, that's another topic. What I'm trying to say is nowadays the average male's survival instinct would be to climb down out of the tree, freezing cold, and fucking, shivering their little bitch ass off, and go back. If they even got into the woods and got into that tree stand in the dark without a flashlight, which is the real way to do it. You know what I'm saying? They not only would they not even get that, if they did even get that far, let me tell you, after 45 minutes of not seeing a deer, the average male would climb his ass down out of that fucking tree stand and be like, I'm going fucking home and sitting on my lazy ass couch and cooking a fucking TV dinner. And that's all I'm talking about. Like, I'm not talking about, it's not so much the act of hunting I'm talking about. I'm talking about how I'm trying to make a point about the new modern male that women have raised. And if you, and this guy was like, and he said, so he was like, he said to me, that's just survival instinct. He goes, real men plot revolutions. And I laughed at him and I said, if you can't even go in the woods and do, if you can't even do what I was just talking about, how the fuck are you gonna fight a revolution, man? He didn't say anything back. And then I'm just saying, like, that if you can do that, what I'm trying to say is, if you can do what I was just talking about, you know what I mean? Basically, you've got all the confidence to do almost anything, is what I'm saying. And so it boils down to more than just going out in the woods and killing a deer like a caveman. You understand what I'm saying? And it's very sophisticated, and most people couldn't even handle it. You'd be locking your keys in the car or losing your keys, or the people who do hunt like to hunt alone a lot of times because they can't find good partners to hunt with, because Americans are fucking idiots. You understand? Not only do you not trust being around a lot of them with a gun in the first place, it's also, oh man, it's also, you get there, you drive, say you go to, you drive 30 miles, you get out of the truck and they're like, oh, I forgot my hunting license, or oh, my gun doesn't work, or there's a myriad of things. I did it. I drove. What was it? The other day, I drove all the way down to South County. I was hunting with my dog, and when you hunt with your dog, that's even more to deal with when you got a dog with you. I was hunting birds, and I got every single thing in the car except my gun. And I drove all the way down to South County, got out of the truck. That was like a 30-mile drive. It's exactly what I'm talking about. Got out of the truck, went, opened the back door to get everything out, my gun and everything. Looked, no gun. I was like, you've got to be shitting me. So I had to drive all the way home. I'm telling you, it's way more, there's more sophistication than like, I got a deer this year. People have no idea how much that even implies anymore. They think it's easy. It's hard. It's hard with a gun. I was out there today with it, and then on top of that, you got all these laws and regulations. You can't hunt. It's incredible. It's a very sophisticated thing, and a lot of men could never even handle it. And a lot of men, I'm telling you, man, and it's because males have been raised. I mean, I'm telling you, males have been raised where they're soft. Americans are soft. A lot of you. And I'm not the great hunter. I come from a family like that, and I can't boast about it. I'm just now kind of getting back into. I got roped into. I'm no better than a lot of other people in the sense that I got roped into, but I'm changing my life and I'm getting back to what's real. I'm trying to get back to what's real. I got roped into chasing women and going to clubs and trying to be an artist and all this stuff. And you know what? It was all a distraction. It was all a distraction. Men can't handle a lot of things like us, Carly says. Carly, shut up, man. Women can't handle fucking, women can't handle somebody having an opposing opinion a lot of times. Gutter it, butcher it, freeze it. That's what I'm saying. You want to save money, man. I mean, God, even if you live in the city, you should make friends with somebody out in the country like me. And I'm telling you right now, and you should get your FID card or whatever, and and you should fucking spend some time out in the woods every year. It is a blast. You never know. To have a deer that weighs as much as you, like or more, run by you at 40 miles an hour, leaping over logs, and I mean, you can't. Your heart leaps, man, and like I've been within 10 feet of 10-point bucks before. I mean, I or not maybe 10, maybe about I've been about within about 15 feet, maybe 20 feet of like 10-point bucks that didn't even know I was there before. It is. Sometimes I don't even care. I almost just want to bring a camera. You know what I mean? I almost just want to bring a camera and just run the video. So, I mean, these creatures are amazing. And you never know. I mean, you just never know what's going to happen when you're hunting. And it is good to have a partner. I'm trying to find somebody. I got one guy that I might want to, we're trying to get together to hunt, but he's got to work all the time. I got vacation. That's one thing I do like about my job is I have paid vacations, paid sick days. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't get that. They get vacation sometimes, but they don't get paid vacation. I get paid sick days for crying. I get 10 paid sick days. Oh, I want to check out. Let me see. Check out this person's channel here. Hey, MGTOW Strong. I'm smoking here. Let me see. Per usual, it's me, the MGTOW Misfit. I don't know. Yeah, I'm jacked, baby. No, I'm not really that jacked. I should work out. I don't know why I don't. I don't know. I do work out. I work out my trigger finger. I'm just having fun, smoking my pipe, smoking some tobacco out of my pipe. Oh, you know what? I left everybody I left everybody hanging as far as family court. So here, let me fix my hair. I just woke up and I've been cleaning my house. My bed's still kind of a mess, but I'm on my bed right now. But man, I cleaned the hell out of my kitchen's nice and low. I'm trying to get rid of all the odors, because I'm deer hunting, and so I'm not cleaning with like dish. I'm not using like dish soap. Well, I used a little bit. I broke down and used a little dish soap because I had some greasy pans. But generally, I just mop the floor with vinegar. I wash all my clothes with vinegar especially during hunting season. I wipe myself down with vinegar. You know what I mean? I like to use lemon under my arms and stuff. Oh, I'm giving away my secrets. But um, but basically, yeah, family court. So I mean, I'm not trying to say like I'm all buddy buddy with the judge or anything, but I do respect the judges. I told the judge I respected his decisions so thus far, and I kind of shamed the mother in the court a little bit, and for good reason. I'm not even trying to be, I'm not trying to be unreasonable. I haven't seen my. I had to summons her to court just to meet my kids, but Yeah, I basically she's basically told the court she's having trouble getting the counselors that she trusts or whatever. Let me go get some coffee. I need another coffee. I'll be right back. I need a haircut for crying out loud. Oh. All right, coming back here. So I basically said a lot of the stuff. I basically said it was unacceptable that she hadn't had made an appointment yet. So my kids, well, they might by now know who I am. She said within a week or so she would have an appointment, but basically, uh, yeah, it got of course, it got postponed to like July or not July, January 3rd. I got to go back to court, and I'll talk more about it then. But I told the court, I was like, I don't have time for this. I was like, this. I said it's unacceptable, and I don't have time. I said, I'll let it go this time. I said, but my employer can't afford to fucking. I can't keep. I said I can't keep missing. Even I said even if my employer would let me keep missing work to go to court, which I shouldn't even which I shouldn't even need to do. Father should just have. You should just be the father. You know what I mean? You are the father. You should just be the father and be able to make decisions. But they won't let fathers do it anymore, or they'll find it. They'll let women make any excuse they can to not let the fathers in a lot of cases. But my point being is, it's crazy, man. I'm telling you. No, but they postponed it, and yeah, I said I can't keep missing. I said even if I could keep missing work, like my employer would let me. I was like, the bill companies aren't going to give me waivers, on my on my bills. So I was like, this can't continue. Basically, I'm trying to put everybody on notice, man. It's not threats. I'm putting people on notice that I'm not going to. I'm not gonna go along with the system for 3 years, man. This better start moving along, man. Or I'm telling you right now, I'm not gonna talk about it too much on air though, because I don't want, I don't want. Well, no, there's nothing anybody can use against me because the truth is the truth, and I've been robbed. So whatever, I've been robbed. My kids have been kidnapped by a scummy Western woman. But yeah. Carly's got to come in here. Are you even a real woman, Carly? If you are, why you got to come in here and fuck everything up, man? I generally don't censor anybody or any fucking thing. If you guys really want somebody out of here that bad, you're gonna have to. There's gonna have to be a mutiny. Like everybody's gonna have to get together and tell me to get rid of somebody. I don't know, or I don't know. I usually have moderators. I don't know. Like MGTOW Warrior hasn't been around. Sometimes moderators will come in. You enjoy hunting men maliciously, yeah? Why don't you go hunt some deer, Carly? A lot harder to hunt deer than men. It's more. I thought you women like challenges. Why don't you get your shit on and go deer hunting? And get off the fucking couch. What's up? Used to be Ron. What up? So, there's plenty of people that enjoy venison, Carly. You didn't get a tag? Give you a hammer, Stu? Give me a hammer, Stu. Who do you want to get rid of? I don't know who you are used to be, Ron. You just got here. Are you MGTOW? You got 7 subscribers used to be, Ron. Everybody wants Carly gone. It's mutiny, Carly. You're getting ejected. Somebody hit the eject button and eject Carly out into space. I have a good recipe for venison jerky. See, people are like, "Oh, I don't like venison." You know what? Make jerky out of it with either traditional jerky blend, and and you can save your beef grease, your beef fat, and you can mix that in with your venison, because generally the issue with venison, these deer are pretty lean. I hear bear is really good. I don't recall eating bear. I don't recall ever eating bear. Is there somebody here? But yeah, if you add a little bit of your beef fat, if you save your grease when you're cooking or whatever, you add that in with you mix that in with some venison. That'll make your venison taste a little better, because it is really the fat that gives meat its flavor a lot of times. Yeah, I don't like these PUAs. I don't think what they. It's interesting to watch the chat, but these PUAs, what they don't seem to understand, it's like they're just contributing to the. It's like they're going around. I understand going around everything, and the woman's defenses, and the way everything's set up, and blah blah blah. And just hitting it and quitting it. I understand that, but there's a bigger picture than that, and it's like NPUAs they're just so weak and dumb, and I guess they will lower themselves to just using somebody for sex, I guess. What and then that gets pretty gross, and you can use all the condoms you want. You're never going to get around how gross that is. It's like, oh, I fucked a dead fucking animal on the side of the road, but I used a condom. Sorry, but a lot. Thanks, Steve. I use vinegar in my hair too, by the way. During hunting season, especially apple cider vinegar on everything. I'm giving up my secrets. Apple cider vinegar in your dish, for dish soap instead of dish soap. Apple cider vinegar instead of laundry detergent. Apple cider vinegar instead of floor polish. Apple cider vinegar, and peroxide. Peroxide. Get something on your hands, don't grab the dish soap, grab the peroxide. shit like that. You know what I mean? Hands get greasy. Don't grab the soap. Grab the vinegar, the cider vinegar, and some peroxide. You know what I mean? Just whatever you got to do, and wipe it off on a rag, whatever. Just don't get yourself all smelly good with detergents. And the deer will be like, they run by me like fucking 15 fucking feet away. I couldn't see any goddamn antlers today. No antlers, no deer. But yeah, I'm really good at hiding, stalking, all that shit. It's just, some of it boils down to luck too, and being in the right place at the right time. And you don't really want to shoot at a deer running by you like that. You want to shoot at a deer when it's completely broadside to you, and or maybe a little bit turned so you can get it through both sets of lungs is good too. But generally broadside and doesn't know you're there. I want to make a clean kill. You know what I mean? I don't want to be wounding these fucking deer. Yeah, I still got a little bit left. I'm about to refill it. I wish I had if I had the cup of never-ending coffee, I would be a rich. Now, a lot of the I guess the word for me would be a cuck or something, because I had kids or something. I don't know, or and pay child support or something. But let me tell you something. I've done really well. I don't pay that much child support because I have a way of being very direct with the courts, and one of the I will say that I do have some clout because I have absolutely no criminal record. I have a pretty upright background, and people are getting the hint in this area that I mean business, and that does help me a little bit, but not much. I mean, these courts can do anything they want to these days. Let's just face it. And the fact that that's another point I'm trying to make, where the PUAs are pussies, and all these. I'm telling you, man, people. The fact that and that PUAs, instead of unifying with other men to get higher standards, will just keep lowering their standards, shows me that PUAs are weak because they don't want to address the larger problems, and that they just can't fathom. And a lot of them don't have kids, and they don't want to have kids, but then don't complain about the way things are going in the country, because that's what how do I say it? Like, if you're just going to make the problem worse, then don't complain. At least as MGTOW, even where we've walked away from trying to fix the problem, we're not out there adding to the problem. And that takes integrity, and PUA and anti-MGTOW just don't have it. They just don't have integrity, man. I'm just saying this matter of factly, like they come on and talk like MGTOW are pussy. Oh, this one lady, I can't read you the response because right after, with a couple hours after I responded to her video, she took the video down. She was laughing and saying, "Oh, a bunch of men." That you might remember her, you might recall. She was like, "Let me get this straight." She's like chuckling through the whole video. She's like, "A bunch of men who women never wanted in the first place have decided to walk away." Oh, I agree, 100, 200%. You know what I mean? No, nobody wanted them anyway, so they're punishing women by walking away. And when nobody wanted it, she just kept, like it's funny, And I said to her, I basically said what I said in my videos before. I said, "You mean we're walking away because women in society hate men?" And I just brought up all the statistics. I was like, it's the men with the high suicide rate now. It's men, it's all the paper, I was like, as you sit around in society, sit around and talk about men hate women. I was like, all the newspaper headlines talk about how there's not enough good men and that women are in no way responsible for the low marriage rates and the low birth rates. It's all men's fault. And I was like, and it's all boys being drugged in the schools for not behaving like little girls, not girls being drugged. Maybe one or two here and there. They'll say a girl has ADHD or something. And I was like, it's all boys being told that they're not needed anymore. I was like, I was like, this country doesn't even have the basic enough respect for fathers to even let most fathers have equal time with their children. And I was like, but I was like, but you're just gonna sit here and laugh. And I was like, you're doing it now. You're laughing right now. A bunch of men are having some issues, and you think it's funny. I said, you're laughing right now. And she just took the video down. She didn't even respond to me. I waited for a response. That video was up for like I thought out my response. I was like, I was like, and then I finally was like, I got it. And I said it. I wrote that down, and like, I was at work, and then I went home from work about an hour and a half later, checked that video, gone. That video's gone now. She took it down. So whatever. I know what I'm talking about. A lot of these bigger channels aren't going to come after me because they don't want me to get a big platform, because I know I don't know everything, but 95% of the time I know what I'm talking about. I'm not spreading bullshit. I'm really trying to navigate back to a better way than the way things are going now. I don't know what the perfect way is, but it's not what we're doing now. Or more of it. That everyone wants change, but then they want more of the same. Oh, there's poop in the punch bowl. Oh, change. We want change. We want more poop in the punch bowl. Like, they don't, and it's like, once there's poop in the punch bowl, you can't drink that punch anymore. So the punch bowl's ruined anyway, everybody. We can scoop the poop out of the punch bowl now. That's an Alex Jones analogy that I'm using, by the way, from a long time ago, but it's true. This country, as a punch bowl, it's already had poop in it. Somebody's already pooped in the punch bowl. We can take some poop out of the punch bowl, but the punch bowl in this country will have always been pooped in, so it's never going to go back. You know that, right, people? All right, Carly. I put Carly in timeout. And I get heated, and I do respect this judge so far, because he's made some decisions that I wouldn't have thought of. Like, I am a little hot-headed sometimes, but I have a right to be hot-headed. right now. But you know, he did. You know, I'm glad that he thought about my. I'm glad that he thought about having a third party there when my ex tells her about me. Hopefully, so she can't slander me while she tells them about me. And also because if I was there, I'd be like, see, mommy lied to you. And now let that be a good lesson because this world hates males and you're going to be lied to your whole life. I mean, I would just red pill the hell out of my 12-year-old boy. So, you know, I'm kind of glad that the judge made the decision the way he is. So I don't want to act like, you know, he seems like a very experienced, wise guy to me, the judge that I have on my case. So that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying I am going to agree. Like I'm gonna. If he doesn't start penalizing her, I'm probably if she's for her not cooperating. Like I know a guy, his ex wouldn't cooperate. It might be the same judge I have now, actually. Uh, she kept, you know, making it so she kept in contempt of court doing whatever she could to make it so he would not be able to visit his kids, making it hard for him or impossible, basically not, missing. So he had to miss visits with his kids. The judge told her, okay, every time you miss a visit now, you're going to pay him $150. That was the decision. I think it was the judge I have now. And that was that was a while ago. I was talking to this guy. He lives next door to me, and he said that now his ex, since the judge did that for him, his ex has not missed the kids are there every weekend now. So, you know, I am going to allow this judge to do his job. You know, and that's just the way, I'm going to do that. That's why I brought this to court. So I'm going to respect the judge's decisions thus far. But that is how it's going thus far. I think basically the sad part is I'm not going to be able to be with my children over the holidays. And so I've already missed Thanksgiving with them, and now I'm going to miss Christmas and New Year's with them. But at the same time, I almost don't want them to, as sadistic as it is, I almost don't want them to find out during the holidays too. You know what I mean? They're about to be red. My kids are 12 years old. They're about to swallow a pretty big red pill, people. Thanks to a woman. Carly, if you don't annoy people with your womanness, I'll fucking kick you right the fuck out of here. I don't even know who you are, Carly. You could be a fucking CIA agent for all the fuck I know. You could be like NSA or something. You could be some some YouTube person. Welcome to my Jew camp, everybody. I'm gonna have a yellow star, MGTOW. I'm gonna make a yellow Jew star. I'm gonna make a big yellow Jew star. Boom, like that. What is it? 6-pointed Jew star. And it's gonna say MGTOW. And then in parentheses underneath it, it's gonna say woman hater. I'm gonna make Jew stars for all the MGTOW guys to wear around your little Jew camps. Free of charge. For no cost to you, MGTOW. Yep. How's your Jew camps? My Jew camp's nice and clean. I grew some tobacco in my Jew camp. At least I'm allowed to smoke tobacco in my Jew camp and drink coffee. And I have the vestigial appearance of survival in hunting. This is my so yeah, this is basically my hunting gun. It's kind of heavy though. I don't like straps. I mean, I like straps because I like to be able to hang it when I'm in the woods, but at the same time, it's always when you're hanging your gun up or when you got your gun slung over your shoulder, that's when you see the deer. Or when you're taking a piss or you're taking a crap or you're getting set up. I'm telling you, man, you guys have no idea. It's like those deer. It's like those deer think they're magical or something. I got it. I should, you know what? I really should spray this down with some WD-40 just to get the moisture off it because I can feel the wetness. Can't have that. So I think I'll do that. Yeah, PUA guys, man. You guys are a bunch of pussies on the record. You guys don't want to fix the problem. Or you guys want to make the problem worse. Not only do you not want to not make, you know, basically fixing the problem, yes, is basically impossible, but you guys want to make it worse instead of walking away from it. You know, and that's bullshit. I'm going to spray some WD-40 on this and then stick it back in there. Doing it right on my bed like a slob. Oops, I just sprayed my... I just WD-40'd my keyboard a little bit. This stuff's great. In case you didn't know, but it's not oil. It's not oil. Or it's not lubricant. WD-40 is not lubricant. You should know that. I have to do this. I didn't realize it until I just took it out just to, you know, be a show off or something. And then I realized it was wet. And you can't have a wet gun. It's not wise. Fuck, man. Something in there. There we go. And WD-40 gets the moisture out. That's all. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm trying to say. There, it's better. Feels better already. Feels better already. Yep. I probably should put some. I like this. What is it? Rem spray. It's good stuff. Rem oil. This is pretty much what I've been using for lubricant. So I'm just gonna spray some right down here. I should actually, you know what? I better lube up this part too. I gotta retake this off because not the whole barrel, just want this. Your gun will jam if this isn't oiled up. There we go. There we go. Ready to go for another day of hunting. I didn't realize it until after I pulled it out and held it for a second that I needed to do that. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that on air. But, I guess that's how you take apart a Remington 1187. Very easy, no tools. Well, until you get down to the action assembly, then you need some tools. But, rarely do you need to take out the entire action assembly unless something's broken and you got to fix it or replace it. These are great guns. I think the police like them, and I know why the police like them, because these things are reliable. Fuck Mossbergs and all that shit. Well, the higher end Mossbergs are okay, probably, but the Mossbergs that I can afford aren't really anything special. I know there's Savage and Mossberg and Ithaca, and there's all these shotgun companies. I like Remington, which last I heard was going bankrupt, but they might have got bailed out. I like Remington. Ruger's okay too. I like Marlin. Marlin's one of my favorite companies. Smith & Wesson. All right, I'm back. Sorry. Had to do that. Had to be done. Yeah, anti-MGTOW, blue pill men, PUAs, you're change my mind, basically. Somebody come on here and change my mind, please. Because otherwise, existence is pretty sad. Existence is pretty sad. I don't see how God could be happy with this country. Do you guys see how God could be happy with it? If there is a God, if there is a God, you know what I'm saying? If there is a God, man, and I believe there is a creator, I don't see how he could be happy with the way things are going in this country, man. Look at this guy. I'm going to show you this guy. Let me go to my history. Look at this dude here. This is the modern man. This is what, like, let me see. Here's the modern man right here. I'm gonna pause it because I don't even want to hear this stupid guy talk. Here's the modern man, or so-called modern. I got to screen share this. Oops, what am I doing? Wrong button. All right. This guy. Here you go. And if girls do like this guy, then he proves MGTOW right, basically. Or even incel. I mean, what's his name? Hell by the Dashboard Light. If women like this guy, then you know, Hell by the Dashboard or Hell by the Dashboard Light rests his case. Then basically, I mean, this is what I said to this guy. He's making fun of this kid right here, Kurt Luxurious. Kurt Luxurious, I think his name is. Making fun of Kurt Luxurious, who, I'm sorry, but I mean, you know, Kurt Luxurious looking a little bit more, you know, savage than than this guy right here. But at the same time, oops, sorry, did the wrong thing. I mean, look at this guy. Look at that. Really? I mean, this is how you be popular now, is by being it's all fashion. Your entire, the people that are screwing us over would just love it if your idea of rebelling is wearing a fucking red, white, and blue cheetah checkerboard print fucking Michael Jackson coat with metal studs and piercings all over your face, tattoos all over your knuckles and hands and on your neck. I got some tattoos too, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that's not my whole personality. You know what I mean? That's not my whole existence isn't all wrapped up in like what I look like. You know what I mean? And it's just more, God, man, what is this country, man? God, look at this country, man. Look at what they've done to men. God, it's incredible. It's incredible that they've done this. It's incredible what they've done. This kid has no idea what he's been mind controlled. The kid's been mind controlled, basically. It's incredible. Look at what Hollywood has done. Hollywood did its job. Fucking Trannywood. Look at what it was. They knew what they were doing by putting trannies in. Now everybody's basically tranny. Everybody's, if you're not, even if you don't have the surgery, if you're a man, you're acting like a woman. If you're a woman, acting, the tranny agenda has gone far. It's being exposed now, finally. Carly, shut the fuck up, man. If everybody, what are you talking about? The French used to dress like him and helped the U.S. Yeah, he's not one of those people, Carly. He's not one of those brave men that would help the U.S. And I don't know what your idea of help is, Carly. If you're a woman, you probably think backwards, and your idea of help is like fucking welfare and fucking food pantries or something. Yeah, nobody here can rank on her like I'll rank on her. Tranny is just a passing fate. Well, if it's passing, it's already done its job, Carly. And if it's passing, it's for like 100. Hollywood's been injecting trannies now for fucking like, go back and watch all the silver screen females, Katharine Hepburn, all of them. They're all men. They're all skinny, beak-nosed Jewish guys with a shitload of makeup on their eyebrow. That's why when that whole drawing your eyebrows on, like women do it too now, but that's a tranny thing. I'm sorry. I mean, women might manicure their eyebrows a little bit, so they don't have unibrow or something, but fucking, you know what I mean? Tranny men draw their eyebrows on, understand? Like all that. It's all tranny shit. Carly, you'll never win. God ripped the sky open and let the truth fall down on my head, Carly. No, it's the trannies that are weak. The Jerk was pretty good, but I think Steve Martin's a chick too, Carly. It's harder to spot the male. Man, I'll tell you, if a chick does enough testosterone from an early enough age and steroids, and I'm telling you, man, and works out, you know what I mean, lifts weights. I'm telling you right now, or you know what I'm saying, they can start, and all these procedures they have. I'm telling you, these women, man, they can really fucking look like men. It's incredible. Why? What's wrong with my world, Carly? I do pretty much whatever I want, whenever I want. I have to work, but that's because I'm a man. Maybe because you're a female, you don't have to work. I don't know. But other than that, I pretty much, I do pretty much the same shit rich people do. I eat good, besides, traffic children and all and watch snuff and make snuff films and all the crazy shit rich people do. I eat good food. I don't want to travel. I hate this country, but I hate all the other countries more. Because they don't allow us to most of them don't allow you to have guns. At least we can still have guns here. So I'm not leaving the country. If you're like, oh, well, then leave the country. No, I hate all the other countries more, but I still hate. That doesn't mean I can't hate this country less. You know what I mean? I have different levels of hate. I'm not smoking weed. I don't know what you're talking about. No, I have a prescription for this, and it's better than all the crazy drugs women do, Carly. These women are on all kinds of fucking SSRIs, like serotonin reuptake inhibitors, and they're like putting their kids in the fucking microwave and stuff. So I don't want to hear about, oh, I smoke a little bit of weed. At least I didn't let them drug me with artificial meth. They're gonna come. If the police are gonna complain that I smoke weed when they basically poisoned me, when the public schools publicly they ended the program like in the late 80s, poisoned me with rat poison, which is fluoride. You can go look it up. Fluoride used to be an ingredient in a rat poison. and they gave me fluoride pills. So any cop or judge that's going to punish me for smoking pot when I have a prescription for it uh, should be ashamed of themselves. They should have arrested the teachers and the principals and the, you know, whoever made it possible for them to give me a fluoride tablet in 4th grade or whatever, 3rd grade. That basically, that's when I first started slipping, but I was still doing okay, you know, until middle school. But basically, you know, I realized that the system was bullshit. They wanted to they wanted to drug me, is my point. They wanted to put me on artificial meth too. Luckily, my family had a good family doctor that was like, no, you know what I mean. There's nothing wrong with him. The school was trying to make something wrong with me so they could make a profit and drug me. So nobody's gonna make me feel guilty about smoking weed. Period. If you, I'm telling you right now, we need to stay on top of this politically too, because they're gonna try to take this away probably. Yeah, the water's poisoned basically with rat poison, but I can't smoke pot. The food's fucking adulterated. Everything's adulterated with poison, but I can't smoke homegrown weed. That's why. That's why they don't want me to smoke homegrown weed. What do you want from us? Seriously, you men made your bed. Don't blame it all on men, Carly. What do you mean we made our bed? It's all men's fault. Where were all the women? Where were all the women encouraging men to do better things, like go down to City Hall, like that, you know, and make lower taxes? Where women, were the men? Where were the men followed women off the cliff? That's what happened to them, Carly. They thought you guys all wanted. They did what you guys all wanted. They went to the clubs and let you guys and bought you guys all drinks like whores. Basically, men did exactly what women encouraged them to do. Yeah, behind every good man is a good woman, but Carly's gonna but you know, but no blame will be put on any women with all the bad men. Good, good. They should be, because people are sick of it. LaShawn showed up. Right now it looks like it looks like my screen is frozen while I'm having a seizure. Hang on, I gotta reload the page. All right. Yeah, it's all right. It's going. I just reload the page when it does that to see if it's still frozen. Jeff is in the house. I could stay up just long enough to fucking piff a 5-hour energy drink and go shoot a deer. Doing this shit. This is fun. Jeff, Jeff, how you doing? Trav's been going strong, making some really good videos. Traversable, pop over onto his channel. Go watch We Smell Corruption. You know, I sit around, I can't fucking find anything to fucking watch on TV. It's all filled with men are weak, you know, women are strong, men are weak messages, and you know, men are bad, women are good messages. You know, I can't watch anything, but you know, thank God there's some MGTOW out there who they make videos where while I'm cleaning, I can pop it on, I can learn something new. I can hear MGTOW from another perspective, from another man's experiences. You're done with Trav? Oh, why? What's up? Oh, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. That's all right, Jeff. I'm not gonna. You know, I'm not here to be. I don't want to focus on it on you know who's this did this and said this. You know, if you're done with them, you're done with them. That's cool. I'm sorry I don't make videos more frequently, you guys, and I'm sorry it's just me sitting here most of the time. But I'm trying to, you know, every now and then I come up with a new spin and I want to put out a new message. Another thing that I want to talk about, which never gets talked about, is people always talk about the bad boy complex, but they don't talk about the aspect where women it's multifaceted. Women also like bad boys, because they don't work. A lot of times they sit around all day, they sell drugs or whatever, they wheel and deal, they steal shit. You know, I know guys like that. You know, I know guys that are all right. I know guys that are violent, repeat, aggravated felon convicts that have spent half their life in prison, that do dope and drink and do drugs every single day, covered in tattoos, ride around on a mountain bike, steal mountain bikes, steal this, steal that, tell people, oh, you owe me money when they don't, and then beat them up over it. You know, and basically, I know guys like this, and then the same guy will fuck a yuppie girl who's going to where I work to become a. I don't even want to get into the details, but like, you know, some yuppie girl who's going to be it's going to be a therapist. Will fuck this guy. It doesn't matter. He uses needles. Nothing doesn't matter. And we're talking about, oh, well, why don't you get a good girl? I'm talking about the quote good girls. The quote good girl that's going to college, getting a master's degree in science, going to be a nurse, going to be a therapist, going to be a doctor, will fuck some needle using junkie, repeat aggravated felon, violent felon. I've seen this. I've seen a couple women in the medical field fuck guys like this, and a homosexual head nurse that gives head to like gay guys that I know have AIDS and hepatitis. So like, and you know, so I know what's going on in this country, man. Anybody that doesn't talk, this country is fucking gross, man. This country is fucking gross. And the women are gross too. You fucking bitches are in on it too. You don't fool me for a second, man. Carly. So whatever. I'm talking about the down and dirty nitty gritty that I know. I'm an artist. I'm a good looking dude. I'm nuanced. I know how to put on a social face. Little Stuart's been around. Little Stuart's fucking, you know what I mean? Little Stu knows how to dress up nice and look handsome and fucking and go make friends and find, and you know, with all the quote trendy people. You know what I mean? Trust me, that's what I'm talking about when I mean I got roped into all of it too. Thinking it would all lead somewhere. Thinking it would all lead somewhere, and it led nowhere. It leads to your destruction. It leads to your destruction in this country, and that's the message that I want to put out to young men and young women. It's all leads to destruction. It's bullshit. It's all bullshit. I don't want the ammunition fell out of my gun case. Can't have that either. Or I'll show up and be like, oh, I left my ammunition home, just exactly the way I was talking about. So there's that. I don't have much either. I gotta go get some of these Sabo slugs. Just delayed reaction. Like I knew it fell out, but I just kind of sat there and looked at it because I didn't feel like taking my gun out again. Oh, anyway. So, yeah, I'm just saying, man, this country is so gross. I don't think people have internalized how gross this country is, man. Maybe you live in a box. and you don't get out much and you don't know what goes on, but I know what goes on. Yeah, not well. I'm like a pissed off Ward Cleaver or pissed off like I'm like Ward Cleaver, or I'm like literally not an actor, not a tranny Hollywood actor impersonating Ward Cleaver. I'm from a family of Ward Cleavers or Mr. Rogerses or whatever you want to call them. Well, I am the collective, like I am the microcosm of Ward Cleavers, and I am pissed. You understand? I am a microcosm of the should be Ward Cleavers, and I am pissed. Ward Cleaver is not being nice anymore because this country deserves to be spanked. It's sick. This country's sick. Beyond repair. And so me smoking weed, trust me, that's a fucking drop in the bucket, man. At least I'm trying to not be out there participating in all this disgustingness that's going on. And I have friends that just want to clean. They want a clean, good, happy, healthy marriage and kids. And every, I mean, I only talk about the male perspective so much because I am a man, and my male friends are all friends. I mean, and that's that. And so I talk about the women I know too that get screwed over. I'm just saying from a man's perspective because we're not allowed to talk about it, hence MGTOW. So I'm just saying, man. And every girl they can't even find every girl they meet cheats on them. I know guys they even lower. I know guys they even kind of lower their standards a little bit, and they don't go after a hot chick because everyone's like, oh, you men, you all want perfect women. I know guys that they lower their standards. They go out with a girl who's kind of got a dumpy ass or something, and they're faithful to her, and she cheats on him. So it doesn't even matter, man. I know how women are too, and you women aren't fooling the men anymore. It's over. It's over. Somehow it got out. Somehow word got out. Cat's out of the bag, man. It's not going. The cat's not. Same as women aren't going back to being domestic housewives. Cat's out of the bag on you guys now too. Now. Everybody knows me as a no bullshit individual. Everybody knows it's like the people will allow dualities, Steve Hoka, rock and roll, MGTOW, because everybody knows everybody knows like they allow two versions of me to walk around town. One of them ain't. One of them's not true, and it's the woman hating version of me. Like people know me as a stand-up guy, solid, very solid. Don't get in other people's business. Don't lie. Don't spread rumors. Don't start drama with people. Everybody knows me as a stand-up guy who tells the truth and is about being and is all about business and not being bullshit. But then people also know me as a woman hater. Well, that's impossible in a abuser, and you know what I mean. And it's like that's not possible. I would be in prison. I would be in jail. I would have a bad record. So that version of me is allowed, though. This dual version of Stuart Hunkler is allowed to exist just to appease the women in the town. So they have and all the other good guys. So they have an excuse to just not let the fathers around and use the kids as meal tickets. And I'm sick of that too. And I'm going to talk about it because it's child abuse. It's goddamn child abuse. That's what's going on. The women are being allowed to demonize. There are bad men in the city, and I told you the women can't keep their hands off the bad men. And the good men are allowed to be painted as bad anyway. And I'm done with that. I'm not going to live like that. Or if I have to live like that, I'm going to make videos about it. I'm going to fucking make videos about it. I'm going to fix my hair. I don't care. I don't care. I'm going to fix my hair. Hang on a second, man. My hair's all over the fucking place. I get talking and I start basically pulling my hair out of my head. All right. Yeah, so so anyway, it's just so basically I've retreated. I've retreated because there's too many. It'd be like George Washington fighting all the redcoats by himself. It's just not. It's just not possible. It's just not going to happen. Yeah, so if people can't understand what's like that's why I feel like Lisa Lang is full of shit on CNN. People can't tell me they don't know this is going on. If you can't connect all these dots that MGTOW and guys like me are connecting, you're watching too much TV. Period, man. You're fucking brainwashed. So, trying to read the chat here. Fucking, let's see. Here's Steve Hoka rock and roll. There you go. I gave you the hammer. Yeah, I think it's more like, do I think we are living in a simulation? I think the question is more like, are we I think it's more like we living in the simulation. It's more like the simulation, not just a simulation. It's like the only simulation, and we're in it. And it's very complex, but we're getting there. Like that's why I feel like we're about to have a meeting with God, and people better get ready because you can sure as hell bet if man can come up with the stuff that we're coming up with, that there's probably already a creator that came up with it first, as in we are living in it. So it's like yeah. You're talking about complex things, man. I've thought a lot about it. Uh, oh man, be respectful, woman. Good luck. That was pretty funny. So I don't know. I thought a lot about that, but it's hard to it's hard to fucking I think yes, we are living in like basically there wasn't nothing before all this. There was God, and at some point, and there was no time. And right, even as of now, there really is only night and day. The clock, as in time, like hours and seconds and all that, that was created by the people that are running shit. But yeah, there was no time, and so it's easier to think about God as being infinite when you can understand there's no time. And so, but at some point in that time of no time, he just started speaking in his and this simulation. Look at my hair. Here, watch. What if I do this? I'm gonna be like, oh. Here, let's do this. There. First, this is how to do your hair 101. There. If it won't do what you want, then do that. And then be like, oh, I'm a Hollywood. Hey, baby, what's up? Can I buy you a drink? Yeah, I'm fucking cool, man. I don't like gel and shit. I really need a haircut and shit. But yeah. So um, but yeah. So, but basically, yeah. He and then his voice, like the vibration, like you're. This isn't a table. It's like what he's saying, and is a table. You know, understand what I'm saying? Like God is saying this. This is or not a table. It's a stool, but I'm using it as a table. But what I'm trying to say is like, you know, it's what I'm trying to say is we call this wood, but this is God just saying this, and it's wood. That's what it means by he just started speaking all this stuff. And by speaking I mean creating, and we have kind of the same gift, although it's a little bit more roundabout. I'm not going to bed. Staying up all night. Even going to the bathroom, like there's another thing that can go wrong when you go hunting. You know, you can't be pooping and peeing in your spot. And I was in a hurry. I woke up late, and people talk about bringing toilet paper with you when you go in the woods. You know, I try not to even need toilet paper because I try to get up early enough to go potty 2, 3 times if I have to make sure that all of it's out basically. And I'm I'm sorry I keep messing with my hair, but I really got to get a haircut. So basically, I gotta stop watching the chat so much here for a second, but my point is basically, so I I I didn't go to the bathroom enough. Rushed, went out there. I went to the bathroom once. Usually I have to go at least twice. Like it's weird. I'll get up, I'll take a dump. To be frank, to be real, I'll get up, I'll take a dump, and then I'll drink some coffee, smoke a bowl and stuff, eat a little bit, and then guess what? I got to take another dump, and I didn't do that. So I rushed and I got to my spot and I'm sitting there trying to make it comfortable. Couldn't get comfortable. Didn't I set up a spot, but I didn't really. You got to sit down. I didn't do this. I thought it looked good enough, but you really got to sit down and be like, I didn't, and either act like you have your gun or act like you have your bow when you're setting up preseason. I didn't even set up enough preseason, but my point is you gotta you gotta make sure that you got a good range and nothing's in your way. With you're not going to hit the barrel or the arrow on anything. You know what I mean? And that you can't be seen really. You know what I mean? You gotta still have cover and not be out in the open, but also have, you got, and everything, like a bow's got to be the right height off the ground so your bottom limb doesn't hit something and make a bunch of noise or even explode. Just stuff like that. And I got there and just could not get comfortable. I was like, you got to be fucking kidding me, man. And didn't level the ground good enough. And or there was a level part of the ground, and I didn't use. When I got done, by the time I got done setting up my area, I was only on part of the level ground, and I had a dip. And my ground cloth and everything, I like to have a ground cloth. I don't want to be on the messy ass, dirty ground. I like to put down either a blanket or a ground cloth, something quiet too. But and it was just, I kept sliding down. I was like, this is fucked. So now I'm losing confidence. It's called losing confidence, in your spot. And then I'm like, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go slip. I'm gonna go check the camera and get the memory stick out. I got a game camera up. And guess what? Got to take a dump. I'm telling you, man, it was a bad morning. So then and I had to go bad, and I couldn't hold it, but I got like as far away at least as I could from my area, and then just and didn't have any toilet. Yeah, not a good scene. So rather than go back all smelly and I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it, but you understand what I mean. And then I don't want to be too TMI or whatever. But my point being is I kind of blew up that spot. So, uh, and then I checked the memory card and there was nothing on it. And I was like, oh man, you got to be kidding me. So I total lost confidence in that spot. So then I found myself up on another area farther away, setting up on the first day of the season. You know what I mean? When I should have been sitting there, I probably would have got a buck today. But whatever. I got plenty of time left. You know, uh, basically, I saw Bucks last year at the end of the season. So the last few days of shotgun. So they're out there. But I heard people getting them today, and it was pissing me off. Oh man. So who's all up in here now? It's getting late, huh? People can't hang. Maybe if you're in China right now, you can hang. Yeah, it is gross, I know, but that's the reality of hunting, man. So I can't let that happen again, man. I will bring toilet paper, though, just in case. Because, man, I usually do, but I didn't have it with me today. And I only because I haven't gotten to the store and I didn't have any. I had to go buy some. I had some that was in my kit and I used it. Then I went out there with nothing. So I went and got that anyway. But the point is um, yeah. Tomorrow though, I saw a really good spot. I saw a couple really good spots. Just deer running by me. So tomorrow I'm going to go in and sit down and not fuck around. Just sit still and wait. And I'm going to be there early with bells on. Like I'm going to be there ready to go. Yeah, I know. I'm staying up all night. I'm pulling an all-nighter, and then I'm going out in the freezing cold woods, man. But I'm going to be dressed nice and warm. And it's going to be like freezing rain and snow tomorrow. I would rather snow, but it's November and the weather can't make up its mind yet. Now I have to take a whiz. Oh, I'm sorry, buddy. All right, I'm back. I had to take a whiz. But back to PUAs, man. I mean, they they say like they pretty much they just keep saying the same things over and over for like the past, I don't even know how long. It's like they're so repetitive too. Like it's kind of like it's like watching someone run into a wall over and over again, and just keep slamming their head against the wall, you know, and their idea of a real man is like somebody who goes to clubs and can hit and can like and can fuck all these skanks, and that don't. I mean, I don't understand how that. I understand reproduction makes you like if we're going like I'm not sure what standard they're using. Like they're using the standard of they're supposedly using the standard of like out in nature where a buck screws a bunch of does or something, or a gorilla screws a bunch of a silverback screws a bunch of female gorillas, but then they don't want to address if that's an alpha male. They don't want to address the part of the alpha male that basically that reproduces and has children and protects the tribe, or the that protects the what I mean, and I'm just saying, and like they don't, and all the hunting and everything else that goes along, hunting, killing, you know what I'm saying. So they got like a little tiny piece of the puzzle, which is, oh, go out and bang chicks, and you're an alpha male. No, even by the standard of if you're going by like nature, if that's what you're talking about, no. There's a lot more involved than just banging the other gender. Yeah. I'm just reading the chat. I don't know sometimes if people are talking to me or somebody else. PUA are just stupid. Yes. And they're weak. And if anybody hates women, they do, because at least MGTOW is respecting women enough to be like, all right, see you later. Kind of like in a relationship where a woman's being a cunt and you're like, all right, see you later. Well, MGTOW as a collective is like, all right, see you later then, because everybody hates us. So if we're not going to go where we're not wanted. Armchair Revolutionaries here. Yes. I've been back for a little while. I'm trying to make more videos more often. Yes. They are dumb as hell. And female dating coaches are dumb too. They're dumb too. Like they don't address any consequences. They don't address any of the consequences that you see 80% of the people that date and get married going through, or not, you know what I mean, 89 or 90%. They don't address any of that. They're leaving out a giant piece of the puzzle, man. So it's like so unsophisticated, man. These PUAs and these anti-MGTOW, so unsophisticated, so small, so tunnel, like walking around with, I mean, with like trying to put the blinders on people. You know what I mean? What a scam! What a scam! The PUAs, the anti MGTOW. It's like, what are you, a horse with blinders on? You're just gonna keep going in the direction. You're just gonna and we all are, I guess. But I'm going kicking and screaming. You know what I mean? I'm pointing it out. That's why it's good to have a mouth, and talk about this stuff. And and I don't profess to tell men what to do. I don't profess to tell men what to do. I tell men, if you are going to do all that, be aware of the consequences, because nobody's telling you about the consequences of dealing with these, of interacting with these females. You know what I mean? Nobody's talking about that shit except MGTOW, and everybody wants us to shut up because people want to make money. I guess it's all about money. It's all about money, baby. Fuck this. I mean, I like money too, but man, I'll tell you, like, people just want to. I understand capitalism, but people want to keep this fucking filthy mess going just to keep capitalizing off of all of it. I'm telling you, instead of like, man, we are in an awful bind, people. We are in an awful bind, people. I would, all right, like I don't date, but that much. But every now and then, you know what I mean? It's like years. Like I talk about, I talk about it. I'm very picky. Like, I am very picky, and even being very picky, I'm telling you that it is with women. It is always something, man. It is always something. They aren't, and by what I mean, always something. They ain't seeking to. They know what men want. They ain't giving it to them. They know what men want. They ain't giving it to them. And I don't mean just sex wise. I mean like our kids either. We want to be fathers too, and they ain't letting us be fathers. They ain't waking up like, hey baby, do you need a blowjob before you go to work? You know what I mean? Nothing like that. Like, oh, you know what I mean, or nothing like that. And oh, you're taking the boys fishing. Good, have fun. You know what I mean? No, no, hey, what's going on? It's not my smashing dishes and fucking. Oh, I guess I'm the problem then. I guess I need to leave. It's just I'm telling you, I've seen it. Oh, what? I haven't seen couples that have been married. My whole family is couples that have been married, and the men have simped long enough. I am the end of the line of simping men in this country, or in this lineage. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, every guy I know goes through it. Every guy I know goes through it. I'm done going through it. Every guy I know that has a girlfriend is going through it or has gone through it, and I'm done with it. And I think the women might be changing their tactics. I don't know. I'm watching an interesting relationship right now. I'll tell you. I'm hoping I have some more. I have plenty of more MGTOW horror stories. Trust me. I haven't done a MGTOW horror story video in a while. That's what really got me. That's a lot of my videos that have, like, 125,000 views or something like that are my old horror stories to make you go MGTOW series, and that, trust me, I have more. But I'm watching an interesting relationship go right now. We're gonna see how it turns out. You think? I don't know, man. We're gonna see, man. We're gonna see how. This relationship turns out. Maybe I'm trying. What I'm trying to say is I'm wondering if if women have changed their tactics, or if this this girl that I'm thinking of right now, that I'm or not thinking of, but talking about, is a Nawal, and so I'm watching. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. So yeah, huh, Steven, Asian buffet. No, like that's why I like hunting, fishing, you know, hanging out with my dog over here, taking my dog hunting. This guy. Everybody knows what a good hunter you are now. See, you don't get. He's happy to see me. This guy right here. He's a beast, man. You are a little beast, boy. This guy would protect me with his life, man. And you know that's loyal. Like he understands loyalty, you know. And I want to be loyal, but I'm not like him. I'm not going to be loyal to a good master. If I beat him enough, he'll try to, you know. Not only would let me see. Not only would I not want to abuse him, because let me tell you something, man. This dog would bite the fuck out of you. If you got this dog, if I got this dog into flight, you know, I mean, you know, if I really wanted to, I could dominate him, beat him, put him in a cage, make him into a horrible thing. But look at him. He, I'm just saying, like, if you just think you're gonna be randomly, like, okay, I'll put it to you this way, man. A couple of times he did something that I thought was completely unacceptable, and I went like this, and he just looked at me like, "Really, Stu?" And I was like, "No, you know what? Never mind. I'm not going to bust your balls, Bronson." He is not afraid. This dog is not afraid, man, to scrap. And so, yeah, he looked at me literally like he raised his eyebrows. I'm not joking, and looked at me like this. He looked at me like really, Stu. And I am not kidding. That is the look that he gave me. See, and I'm just telling you, he is not afraid to scrap. So I'm telling you right now, if I got him into fight or flight mode, he would not only bite me, but he would try to get the fuck away. You know, if that door got open, he would run, or if he got off his leash, he would run. He would want nothing to do with me. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of like where I'm at. You know what I mean? I'm a beaten dog. You know what I'm saying? This dog's awesome, and he loves me, and he would protect me with his life. You know, that's how that goes. Yeah. Yes, he is a fucking beast, though. Make no mistake. Like he is. Oh, look at them fangs. Look at them fangs. Show everybody your fangs, buddy. Show everybody your fangs. Look at them fangs. That big fucking fangs. Yeah, he's cool, man. He's my buddy. Yeah, he's cool, and now he gets to go hunting and shit. He gets to do shit that you know, I don't know. I thank God for this dog. You know what I mean? I am staying up all night, people. I'm a little. I just woke up. I haven't showered. I need a haircut, but I'm trying. I'm not going to bed tonight, so I'll stay up for a while. I'm probably gonna make another pot of coffee, believe it or not. I probably shouldn't drink so much coffee. What? What are you all happy about? What? You like coffee? You don't like coffee? You think I'm talking about food? Uh, good boy. I'm a good boy. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. I can't take you hunting with me. Only for birdies. You can't go hunting deer. It's illegal to hunt deer with a dog. In case you didn't know. Armchair. Armchair. Armchair understands the risks and the consequences, I guess. And I don't know who he is. I like a lot of people say if I were, when people say to me, "Hey Stu, if I were you, I would da 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 da." You know what I tell those people? I say, "Well, you're not me, are you?" Well, you're not me, are you? No, you're not me. I'm me. So shut the fuck up, basically. But I hear you. We're still gonna advise you to, you better be careful, man. Armchair, if you're gonna mess around with these crazy bitches, man. I think you guys got to let me make another pot of coffee. I know it gets boring watching me get up and leave and make coffee and stuff, but any PUAs? How about this? Any PUAs in here want to change my mind? Any anti-MGTOW PUAs? You're gonna make me understand. You're gonna make me understand why I should spend a bunch of money in this day and age when what about the fact that it's not just MGTOW guys? The average person is in debt, and the money is worth nothing. That's why are people starving in third world countries? Do you know why people? It doesn't matter because the PUAs don't care. The PUAs don't care that people are starving in other countries as long as they're getting laid. I'm just saying, like the people are starving in other countries because fucking because the everybody's stuck to the petrodollar and the banks have made that worthless. So people that depend on the petrodollar in other countries that make only, even making $2 a day or something in India or someplace like that didn't used to be so bad until they made the dollar worthless so that people in third world countries are starving now basically because they had faith in the American dollar. My point is now everybody's in debt. The dollar's worthless. Marriages are falling apart. Families are falling apart, and the PUAs are like, "Hey, go out to the bar." I'm telling you, man, it's like a broken record in the Holocaust. It's like it's like finding a abandoned room with a broken record playing after the nuclear Holocaust. You know what I mean? It's like it's pretty sick. I'm gonna go put another pot of coffee on. Any of you PUAs want to come in here and change my mind about how I'm not a real man? Here I am. Oh, MGTOW they're not real men, and women didn't want them. As I have children, I'm the guy with children, no criminal record, from a great family, loving guy, cool dog. You know what I'm saying? Have my own house, have my own car. I'm the MGTOW you don't want to talk about. I'm the MGTOW that you don't want to feature on your anti-MGTOW channel unless you're just gonna slander my name and giggle and laugh like some deep demonic grab assy little jackass or something, and say I fuck my dog or something. Ha 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 ha, and you're a cuck. Ha ha. I mean, if you're just gonna act like a adolescent, 16-year-old or something like that, then yeah, whatever. You might get some views or whatever. But I'm saying, like, I'm the MGTOW guy that CNN, or that I'm the MGTOW guy that, not CNN, that, other, whoever a big anti-MGTOW channel is. I'm the one that you don't want to feature on your channel because I have kids, and I can prove. I show court documents, and I prove who I am, and that what I'm saying is true, pretty much. Nobody can really debate my channel, even the people that I know that I've talked about, or you know what I mean? Like, I'm showing you this in reality. I'm pulling the veil away and showing you this stuff. Like, it's not my opinion. It's not like, oh, you've been hurt, a woman hurt you, so now you're MGTOW. You know what I mean? So now you just hate all women. No, I'm showing you the whole red pill process, right up to having kids and not being able to see them. So whatever, man. People can screw off, man. I'm gonna put some coffee on it. All right. I'm back. Do me a favor, people, and try to not let me forget I have coffee going. In about 15 minutes, you guys please remind me. But all right, listen. I'm the type of guy who, if I only cared about money when I was younger, and I mean, look at me. I'm old now, but I mean, I could have been GQ with a little bit of makeup. You know, Hollywood. I'm the type of person who could have, you know what I mean, been in movies, or if my, you know what I mean, I could have, if all I cared about was money, like, which was kind of funny. I don't know if you guys used to watch the show Family Ties with Michael J. Fox, but remember Michael J. Fox was the son that I think he played Alex. All he cared about was money. Like he was like in high school, you know, reading the Wall Street Journal with a tie on at the breakfast table and talking about stocks and investments and making fun of Melanie because she was a ditz. That was a more accurate portrayal, you know, of like reality actually than what we get now. But my point being is, like, one time I remember there was this one episode where his father was trying to tell him, like, hey, there's more things in the world, or maybe it was the father's name that was Alex, but I just remember his father was trying to be like, there's more things in the world than money. And as he said that, he dropped some change out of his pocket on the floor, and like, and his Michael J. Fox, his or whatever his character was all like, quarter two dimes. He didn't even see it. He just heard it like jingling on the floor, and he was like, quarter two dimes and a nickel. He says. He's like, oh, I dropped some change, and he's like, quarter two dimes and a nickel. And the father's like, yeah. But I'm just saying, like, I could have went that route. Do you understand? I knew it was bullshit though, and I wanted something better, and they've tried to make fun of me and stereotype me as the bad guy, which I was not. So I left. Do you understand? I left. I didn't go in school blazing with daddy's guns. You know what I mean? I left. I said, fuck everybody. I left. So my point being is, and my parents, if my parents really were all about money, they could have got me a little bit of corrective surgery, you know, fucking made sure I had the best clothes all the time, the best haircuts, drove my own car. Do you understand what I want? They wanted me to work. They wanted me to go out in the world and you know, learn lessons and, you know, learn how to, you know, develop work ethic and all that stuff. So they didn't. But my parents could have totally, you know what I mean? I'm telling you right now. So nobody's gonna tell me that I'm not, you know, that I'm some fucking guy that can't get laid, or you know, I don't know how to treat women, or blah blah blah, whatever, man. So it's just a way to try to shut MGTOW down, to to write their own narrative of what MGTOW is. Yeah, that's my big problem, is I can't get laid. Oh man, you know, that was kind of a problem when I was really younger, and I gave a shit about what women thought. And you know what I mean? I used to actually give a shit about what women thought. And so yeah, but once I pretty much, not so much, or pretty much, or I mean, I gave a shit about. I tried to humor women when they were full of shit, unlike I would a lot of men, or males. You understand what I'm saying? Where when I stopped doing that and kind of being more, kind of like treating women like another guy, like I would treat another guy, and not getting too fucking crazy, not getting all wishy-washy with them and caring too much about what the fuck they're saying, and getting emotionally hung up on them. Of course, I grew up, I matured, I grew up and talking, and kissing and telling everybody about what's going on. You know what I mean? Once I grew up and yeah, that combined with my looks, trust me, getting laid was not was it was more of a problem to not want to go out and spend my money and hang out with women that like the whole scene was undesirable. You know what I mean? It was more the struggle was to not go be a part of that scene after I learned all that. After I learned all that and grew up, yeah, it's bullshit. It's just, you understand what I'm saying? That was the struggle, was to not go out, not pick up women, not get laid, not be a part of that whole scene. That was the hard part. I don't really care if there's women in here or not. I would rather them not be in here unless they're pro MGTOW. I just wanted to watch that on the. I'm watching the video, the chat in the video, and I wanted to see what that looks like. Me blowing smoke into the camera. All right, so we renamed our two strains of tobacco. I'm just gonna say cannabis because I don't care. But this is now called Mastermind. Or no, this is Mental Floss. I'm sorry. This is a new batch of Mental Floss. I'm sorry. I did not make Mental Floss. This is Mastermind. Right here. This we were calling this Agent M, but we're officially calling it Mastermind. Nobody's used Mastermind yet. The other stuff that we have that well, we didn't create this. Another person created this, these two strains, and we didn't know what to call them because the person died really before they got to name him. It's a Vietnam veteran guy, and so the other strain he created that we have is we're calling Starlifter. So we have Mastermind and Starlifter, and this is Mastermind. It's good stuff. It is dank. All our stuff's dank, but I mean, you look at these. You look at these. The Mastermind. I mean, this guy, man, he knew what he was doing. I'm telling you. I mean, look at these. Look at that. You know what I mean? That's just crazy. I mean, this what you're like. Oh, those are little nugs. Well, no, it was big. It was big, giant. It was big fat colas. I destocked all the nugs so it would dry out so I could smoke it. But my point being is Starlifter is a Vietnam term, and the guy that made this was a Vietnam vet, and Starlifter was like a C1 41, or I want to say C-141 or C-142. It was like the biggest. It was like the biggest cargo plane at the time. I don't know if they got some in the United States military. Um, at the time of Vietnam, I think the Russians had something bigger called like the Russian Bear or something like that. But as far as our military, they had the C-142 or C-141. They're huge, but yeah. So we named it the Starlifter, or we named it Starlifter, which is a cool name either way. Any questions? What are people talking about? It is good, man. It's good stuff. I didn't develop it. He did, and man, they both taste really good. They don't taste the same. Like one is a cross of two strains that are already out there. Conspiracy, Kush, and Doctor Who. He crossed them, so Mastermind is kind of an appropriate name. And and then Starlifter is just he. I don't think he ever told Sky, my friend Sky, what was in it, but he said he was working on it. He worked on it for a long time, which generally, we're guessing he could have crossed 10 or 20 different strains. You know what I mean? But it's really good. It's not as strong as Masterminds, but it's good stuff. Steve Hoka's come back, and there's like knockoff Steve Hoka channels everywhere, and Steve Hoka is coming back to nag people. It's like, why can't it's like, I don't understand. I go after people who are just completely blatant idiot, like weak PUA and anti MGTOW people. Like, I kind of go after them a little bit. I take the bait. I troll them. I make videos. But to come back and troll other men in the manosphere, I basically is what I'm trying to say. Like, you know what I mean? That are just expressing their point of view. Why? I just don't understand. Hoka. Why Hoka? I'm not having a MGTOW nervous breakdown. Uh, Most people in my position would have a nervous breakdown or a heart attack or go beat up the mother of their children or something. I don't know. Go shoot their. I mean, just read the newspapers. Like, guys get driven to some like pretty far extremes, but I'm happy being a thorn in the system's side, basically. Oh, coffee. Coffee. See, I smoke pot, but I remembered I have coffee on. All right, it's not quite ready yet. So my point is yeah, I'm just saying, like, I don't know, Steve Hoka, man, seriously. I mean, I don't hate the guy or anything. I used to listen to a little bit of what he said, but it's like, don't be telling people to go to clubs and drink and get with these disgusting women now, and then act like, oh, You don't want to do that? You're weird. Whatever, man. Whatever, man. I don't understand. Uh, yeah, Hoka should smoke. Hey, Hoka, you don't want to smoke weed? You should be smoking more weed, hanging out at your apartment, having a good time. Uh, here, I'm gonna nag Steve Hoka. Steve, man, you need to relax. You need to have a coffee and smoke a joint, and you need to draw more often. Maybe paint. Take up a good hobby. Don't go out so much. Don't put too much wear and tear on your car. You need to save your money. Uh, you need to smoke a little more weed, and you need to gather more insight and be more spiritual. And if you don't want to do that, I mean, I guess you've just rationalized everything. I'm doing my best Steve Hoka here, but like from the opposite perspective. You know what I mean? Like the way he would like nag uh, someone like himself, basically. I'm just saying, like, if he was more of a, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't see the wisdom in any of that. Go out drinking. Do you go to the bars? I mean, literally, and go to other city. Go out to the cities. Really, man? Like a guy like me to the cities? Are you kidding me? Like, you know, which I'm probably going to be getting a better paying job here in a minute, by the way, people, too. I'm going to be making really good money here in a minute. But anyway, uh, even making good money, if I go to New York City and buy a fucking drink, it's, I don't even know what a mixed drink. A beer was back in the 90s, like, when you could get a bottle of beer, uh, shit, at a bar in my town for like $3 or something like that. It was like $5 to $7 depending on what you got in New York City. And then it was like, a mixed drink, forget about it. And I can't even imagine what it's like now. I could spend I could lose my apartment going to drink, trying to drink, and women know, and these women know. You ain't fooling nobody, man. These women know when you ain't got bank like that. You know what I mean? They'll just say, "Hey, we're going to another bar. The cover's $20. You come in, and you're gonna be like, no, me next time." You know what I mean? Yeah, I got to. No, I got to get home. I got to. Fuck all that shit, man. This, I'm telling you, man. Like, go be a player, or your life is meaningless. Whatever. That's the worst advice ever, man. What kind of advice is that? And then the bars in my town, yeah. Well, he talks about the bars in small towns, but so what? You can go. You want to get caught? You can go get caught up in drama in any bar. I remember, I used to talk about this stuff to people. Uh, Let me tell you something right now. All right, tune in for this, man. Let me tell you about this right now. When I was living in New Orleans, right? I was living in New Orleans, right? Let me tell you. Here's a MGTOW horror story right now. I was living in New Orleans. I was there with one of my friends, right? This is a true story. Coffee's almost done, so I'm going to tell you this. I might get interrupted, but so this is a true story, not joking. And I was living in New Orleans, and there was this Asian girl, really pretty, attractive Asian girl, and I was kind of like, oh yeah, thinking about the old the old in out. But at the same time, I'm a Christian. I have morals and values and stuff. And she's talking about clubbing and doing drugs and stuff like that. And I'm always the guy, the buzzkill at the party, when I'm like, yeah, man, that kind of stuff. You can get in a lot of trouble doing that kind of stuff. And she was like, "Fuck you, man." She was like, "Who the fuck are you? You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Shut up." She's like, "Shut up," and shit like that. Whatever, right? So I got totally dissed by her, and this is like, this is like an attractive Asian girl. If you just tuned in, so not so. So whatever, I didn't think much of it. I was like, yeah, I just was like, yeah, all right, yeah, whatever. I didn't argue with her. I was like, okay. And so the same girl, listen to this, man. I left to go to college in Phoenix, and years later, I caught up with my friend who was in New Orleans with me. He was there. He was living in the same apartment building as this girl, and she was down in his apartment. And they had like they had a crack house going on, and I didn't want any part of it. I was like, fuck this shit. So I'm out of here. And my friend got caught up in all kinds of crack and drugs and drinking and everything. So I still got to check the coffee. It's not quite done. So I can't forget to do that. So anyway, my point being is, yeah, I caught up with my friend years later, and he's like, oh man. He's like, I was like, so how, I was like, what, I was like, hey, how's it going? What happened? How come you're back in Pittsfield? And he's like, oh man, he's like, dude, he's like, you have no idea. He's like, you have no idea what happened after you left New Orleans. He was like, it was the most fucked up shit. And I was like, what happened? So he starts telling me this story, and I got to go check my coffee, and when you hear what happened to this chick and him and everybody in that apartment building, all right, I'm back. So now I'm going to tell you what happened. You cannot believe you can't make up what I'm about to tell you. What happened? So I pieced, and he was telling me what happened not too long after I pieced, man. Uh, basically, uh, all right. So he's like, yeah. So that Asian girl, he says, she owed these guys money for drugs, and they're part of a gang, serious gang, like serious motherfuckers. So they come looking for her with guns, and somehow, one way or another, one of them managed to call 911 on their cell phone, dial 911 on their cell phone, when they had a cell phone and the guys didn't know. And when they dialed 911 on the DL, the police showed up and arrested the guys, right? Sure enough, U.S. justice system, these guys are out on bail. Like a couple days later, right? Where do they show up? They show up at the place, at that place, at the apartment, at my friend's apartment. They like kick in the door or something crazy, and they have guns, and they're asking where's the Asian chick, and oh man, all right, they're asking where's the Asian chick, and my friend, I want to make sure I get all the details crazy. Right, because the story's crazy. Not crazy. All the details right, because the story's crazy. But he basically, after he doesn't, or after not cooperating as much as he can, he doesn't want to get himself killed. So they take him at gunpoint and he brings them to her apartment door, like upstairs. They kick her door in. Two of them. One of them holds him at gunpoint, and the other two kick in the door, and she's in there. And they go in there with guns, and they grab her, and they start raping her. They literally start ripping her clothes off and start raping her. And my friend's like, "I'm out," and he just turns around and starts walking away. And one of the guys, I think, says something. And meanwhile, the guy who my friend had the apartment with's brother, I don't know how you fucking say that properly, with the guy who my friend had the apartment with's brother, big tough dude that me and my friend were basically going to beat up one day because he came over. That's a whole other story. We beat his brother. We beat the shit out of his brother in our apartment, and then his big brother came over and said something, and my friend was like, "Yeah, you want to get beat up too, basically?" And he was like, "Meh," and he walked away. But anyway, so anyway, the big guy, the big brother of the two brothers, one's a crackhead, but I don't know if the other one was, but he was a big jock. He gets out the window. And I don't know if you know anything about New Orleans, but there's fucking fences everywhere. He climbs up. He's a big dude, too, like heavy, too, probably out of shape. He's played football or something in high school. I can't remember. He was a college guy. He climbs up like a 20-foot fence, jumps off the other side, snaps his leg in half. I think it might have been his femur bone or whatever, lands on the other side, breaks his leg in half. He manages to run to a bar. I don't know if it's still open down there. It's called Lucky's. It's in the Garden District, which is kind of the gay area, but it's also an affordable area for people like us. And he manages to run to Lucky's on a broken leg and call the police, right? Meanwhile, my friend, the two guys, one of the leader of the two guys that are raping the Asian chick, they tell the other guy to take my friend out back and shoot him. So my friend gets marched out back at gunpoint, basically, and the guy says something like, "I'll be right back" or something, and turns around and walks away. My friend got, I think that it was something like that. I can't remember if I remember correctly. And while the guy walked away, my friend split and like managed to get under a fucking, like a dumpster, or he climbed over a fence too and got down under a really, like a very small crawl space under a dumpster. And the guy came out, couldn't find him, and fucking, you know, just in time, basically. He got under there. The guy didn't see him, was like, oh shit, you know, and went back in the house. And then he got out from under the dumpster and fucking and bolted and fucking, and basically, you know, that's basically what went down. But I'm telling you, man, and that's not the first time. Like, it's almost like I'm like a harbinger. I'm like a harbinger of death, man, for God. Sometimes I tell you, man. I'm like, okay, I like, God puts it on my heart to like warn somebody, and I'm like, man, that's bad what you're doing, and you know, and that's what I'm talking about. These PUAs and everything, they don't talk about all the consequences, man. And like, the guy and the young and the smaller brother that me and my friend beat up because he basically punched my friend in the face. Where he sucker punched my friend. My friend was escorting him out of the house because I didn't want him there, and nobody not I didn't want him there because he was a crackhead, and they didn't want him there because they were having some kind of a fucking dispute, probably over drugs and money. And so my friend was like, all right, well, here's the door. And as the dude was walking out the door, he turned around and was like, bam, punched my friend right in the face. So I just heard scuffling and whatever, and my friend like had him down on the floor and just got up and was like, bah, 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 in his face, and got up and was like kicking him in the fucking face and kicked his head through a glass door. And the kid like cut his fucking ear and blood was everywhere. And then the kid got up and like ran out. And as he was running out the door, I just like kicked him, and he flew out the door, landed on his chest, and got up and like ran out the fucking gate and ran home. And that's when his bigger brother came, basically. And you know, whatever. So my point being is just like fucking, you know, and all this shit. And oh, he's dead now. He's fucking dead now because he did drugs and lived in that scene, and he overdosed. And fucking, I'm just saying, man, I know what goes on in this world, man. And these PUAs and these fucking, these anti-MGTOW guys that, you know, they're not talking about the fucking dirty problem that this country has, and they're afraid to deal with it, and they want to tell men to man up and drink, and they want more of the same too. They want more poop in the punch bowl too, and it's a very dishonorable country, and drug addicted, and absolutely no morals and values, and sex addicted, depraved, and the systems, the court systems, and the police, you know, I have to say they kind of perpetuate it all. I don't know what happened to the Asian girl. I think she got raped is what the fuck happened to her. I don't think she got killed. They got the guys again, and the guys they didn't get back. They didn't let them back out. They caught the guys again because the dude got away ran to a bar on a broken fucking leg and called the police, basically. Hey, Todd Marble. And that's how life is, man. People don't want to accept it. And I want it to change, you know. I don't want more of the same. I want I want what the creator wants. I'm up here in Massachusetts where where the supposed revolution happens. But here we are, at that moment in time where Mel Gibson said in The Patriot, why would I trade one tyrant 3,000 miles away for 3,000 tyrants 1 mile away? Here we are at that point in time, men. Now what? Now we have three. Now we all have 3,000 tyrants 1 mile away downtown. Indiana is cool. Hey, thank you, Terminator. Good to see ya. I'm having a good time because it's hunting season, and I'm passing time before I. It's cool to get to have. So I mean, you know, if you or I were all hanging out in the room right now, it'd be cool because I would be drinking coffee and smoking my pipe, and we would all be talking and saying stuff, and that would mean like I would be getting some social activity on before I go out in the woods and have no social activity because this way I get to talk, and you know what I mean, blah blah blah, and then now I can get out in the woods where I have to be absolutely fucking quiet and not say anything. Because if you're one of those type of people that talks to yourself under your breath a little bit, like I don't walk around town talking to myself, but you know, if I like do something stupid, I go, "Oh, Stuart, you know, uh, be more of an idiot." Basically, you know, I say little sarcastic things to myself sometimes if I knock something over, or if or if I can't find something, you know, I'll walk around my apartment looking for it, going, oh, you gotta be kidding me. You know what I mean? You gotta be fucking kidding me. I just had it in my hands like 5 minutes ago. What did I do with it? You know what I mean? That type of shit. Well, when you're out in the woods, you can't do that. When you're out in the woods trying to be quiet, hunting deer, you can't do that. You can't even like murmur to yourself, you know? So when something stupid happens or you do something stupid, you just have to accept you did something stupid and not talk to yourself about it after too. Because if you break a stick or something, you know, that's not a completely unnatural sound. You know what I mean? But if they hear you go, if the deer hears you is like 50 feet away, being really quiet, and you don't know it, and then he hears you go, oh, you break the stick, and then he hears you go, oh, you gotta be kidding me. Well, now the deer knows there's a human over there. You understand what I'm saying? Whereas before, all he knew was a stick broke over there. It's like a whole. I'm telling you, man. But now, you know, it's cool. I get to fucking gab my, you know, talk shit now, so I can go out in the woods and be quiet for fucking basically 8 hours, 10 hours straight. I got to discipline myself today and not move around. You sometimes you feel like, oh, there's no deer here. Trust me, there's fucking if there's a 2 mile patch of woods with a swamp in it, there's fucking deer in there, and they know you're there, and you think there's no fucking deer there. They're in there. So all they need is a 2 mile patch of woods with some oak trees and some spruce trees and a little swampy area, some tall grass, whatever, cattails or goldenrods to lay down in. That's all they need. There's fucking 12 deer. You think there's no deer in there? There's 12 deer in there. So you get this whole confidence game going where you're like, oh, see how this all applies to life? You know what I'm saying? Everything I'm talking about is an analogy for life, people. And like this is why you don't see they don't want young men going out there and doing this stuff. And you should all be getting off your couches and getting your FID cards. I would say like a license to carry and a FID card is is just as important or more important than a high school diploma. I would almost say like even if you have even if you end up with a high school equivalency like a GED, general equivalency degree, Fucking. So what if you got your FID card or your LTC? Southeast, you're on the border, huh, Todd? God bless you down there. It's all desert area. Hopefully anybody's kids aren't up at these hours watching this. Go to bed. And get your LTC in the morning. Never mind school. Oh, I'm getting some more coffee. All right. This is a long show tonight, boy. Doggy's sleeping, but he's taken care of, so I can be gone for a good part of the day. That's another thing is I have a dog. Not deer hunting friendly to have a dog when you're MGTOW, because I only know a couple people that I could call to come over and walk my dog for me. But you know what? My dog, man, I love my dog so much. I don't care if I don't get a deer. But I gotta come home halfway in the day. That's what, getting up, walking out of the woods, walking back in the woods. You know what I mean? Not good to do. You got to be there, sun up before. You got to walk in when you can't see and walk. If you really want to get a deer, man, you got to walk in when you can't see. Sit down, wait for the sun to come up, stay there all day at your spot. When you know there's deer that hang out there, you see scrapes, you see, digging scrapes on the trees and deer shit, and they're in there. I'm just saying, you're supposed to go there before you can, when you can't see, sit all day, and then walk out when you can't see at dark. So that's really how you get a deer, and I can't do a lot of that stuff. It sucks, man, but whatever. Who's not MGTOW? I'm MGTOW with 2 dogs and married. What do you think about being married and MGTOW at the same time? You mean you understand MGTOW? You mean you support and understand MGTOW? All dicks matter, basically, is what you're saying. You're not living MGTOW, but you understand with, you sympathize, you empathize with, you support, you watch, you listen to MGTOW. Yeah, I understand that. Unless you're saying you have a NAWALT. Like you're MGTOW and you have a NAWALT. Oh, yeah, okay. That's what I was just going to say, all dicks matter. Or that's what I read your comment. You basically took, or I took the words out of your mouth, basically, I guess, or you did mine. Well, if you found a NAWALT, there you go. I guess. How long have you guys been married? Well, let me see. How long have you guys been married and how many kids do you have? She's a pain in the ass in the time, as in if she was a guy, you wouldn't let her in your house, basically. Then that tells me, you're basically simping. 17 years, married 3 months, no kids. Eh, all right, whatever. I would say that you are doing okay, but I don't want to diss your lifestyle, but if you want to know my real opinion relative to the larger picture, I want to hear that you've been married 17 years with kids, because that's what's not happening. That's what I talk about on here. Like, you've got a piece of you've almost got the full picture, and that's another thing. Like my cousin, the one, like all the men in my family used to get married, have families, no problem. Now the one dude in my family that got married, he's not going to have any kids. That's part of their agreement, I think, is they're, as being a couple, is they're not going to have kids. I don't know why. I don't care why, but there's always some reason. Americans just aren't, they're not having kids anymore. Now, 17 years, that puts you in like, you got married in the 90s or something. Let me see. No, let's see. Or right, it's around, like right around, the beginning of the millennium. So you managed to find what I would say is you did. You managed to find a decent chick. I don't know what your lifestyle is, and I don't want to examine you with a microscope on my show. I'm just gonna generally say that kind of stuff. Like I don't want to get too far into it. I'm just telling you generally what I think, as far as the overall picture. Like I haven't either. I had kids, but I'm not married. So it's like I don't see, man, what used to be the general rule of thumb, big families, even if you were poor, so-called poor in America isn't like poor now. So-called, have you ever watched that series, Pride and Prejudice, right? Uh, the poor people the poor guy in Pride and Prejudice, like, okay, it's about a group of people. If you don't know what Pride and Prejudice is, it's like a movie based on some books that I never read. That's kind of about this group of friends, and some of them are rich and some of them are poor, and it takes place around like the early, 1800s or late 17, the kind of Victorian era, I guess. And the poor people in this story still have big houses on. They still have a big house and a farm on a big plot of land. You know what I'm saying? Like they still have. It's not like poor now. They were poor as in, they had, they just had like, the American dream basically, but that was enough, I guess, back then or whatever. I don't know what you would call it. It's not like poor now, and where you don't even have a fucking pot to piss in. You know what I mean? But it's like those days are over, bro. And none of us have that really anymore. We're fucked since like the 80s, man. I was there. I was there in the early 70s. I don't want to say guys were perfect either. A lot of the guys were being fucking maniacs, but I saw my parents. I learned a lot because I learned a lot young because my parents allowed me to. They didn't, even though I lived a fairly sheltered life, my parents let me watch rated R movies. So at a young age, I was watching like HBO and Movie Channel and Star Channel. Those were like the kind of paid, you know, like things you have now. Like those were like the direct TVs and stuff of our day, and they were showing movies like Animal House. People want to say, the churches were trying to censor the Hollywood a little bit, and I guess they did manage to get ratings and all this stuff. But the thing is like people want to act like media doesn't affect, like Hollywood, like these movies and shit don't affect our social. But the way Hollywood has glamorized degeneracy has really hurt this country, because I did see the guys, and they were acting like fucking animals in fucking Animal House. They were doing drugs and party. And my father brought me around to some biker rally type things, biker gatherings, and because they liked, him and his friend liked to ride Harleys, and I saw guys overdosing, shit like that at an early age on the floor, fucking, you know what I mean? Fucking, having an uh-oh moment where they did too many drugs, just stuff like that. And I saw the progression of this all, and the feminism and everything really got going in the early 80s. But the women, they were partying too. They were partying too. So, whatever. And they party now. And they're still partying. I've seen it. I was here, man. I saw it. I saw it all. Oh, there's no privacy now. I'm watching my. I'm 47. I was born in 1971, so 81, 10, 91, 20, 2001, 30, 2011, 40, 2020, or 2011, 40, 2018, so, or 48 basically, I guess, but yeah. I hate technology. I do have minutes on my phone. I like the cameras though. One of my early videos was, pretty much. I used to talk about like I used to end my videos like, so guys, keep that camera rolling, keep those phone cameras handy. I was talking about stories to make, horror stories to make you go MGTOW and all that stuff, and I would say at the end, like, so guys, I was like, keep those video cameras handy all the time. Yeah, police have always done what they're told, though. I got a nose hair. I want to rip it out. I rip out my nose hairs sometimes. Sorry, it's disgusting, but it's tickling my nose. Oh, really? You're gonna go work for UPS? Right on. You can make a lot of money with them. Yeah, America. Yeah, I know. I talk about it. America's screwed. I think I did get it. I'll tell you, man. For any of you who know about ripping nose hairs out, I swear to God, man. Sometimes you will rip out every other goddamn nose hair than the fucking nose hair you're trying to rip out, man. Son of a bitch, man. ripping them nose hairs out. So anyway, everything's going good for me. I can't complain. You know, my kids, I'm a Christian, so I've given it that to God, and he sees what's going on. I don't have to go on a suicide mission and kill anybody. You know, uh, I believe in the creator. I believe in free will, and everybody in this community has the free will to not do the right thing and tell my, and let my kids come to either convince people and tell people and to let my kids come see me. So, yeah, hey, whatever, man. That's just God. God sees this going on, and God can punish people like that. Like that story I was telling you about that Asian girl in New Orleans that I was trying to say, hey, lay off the drugs and stop. Maybe you shouldn't do so many drugs and party so much. You know, God can punish somebody way worse than I can, or allow the enemy to punish somebody. Stand by and take the hedge of protection down around somebody, let the enemy come in and frickin' rape them, basically. Why can't we all have farms, man? There's enough land. Look at all the land on this in this country. Like Traversable was talking about property taxes. Yeah. What about hey, I don't like these cities and this giant system that you guys want to perpetuate. So I want to go out in the out and you know, there's all this state land out there that I've paid that we all pay taxes for. We're just gonna go out like these other rich people that do nothing. Who are these fucking rich people that what you know, I see these rich retired fucking baby boomers that I gotta support and big fancy houses on the lake. What do they fucking do all day? They scowl at you when you walk by. Fuck this fucking country, man. Why can't we all be like, you know, fuck you guys and your gynocentrism and all you rich fucking faggots out here that are fucking all the women, you old fucking grimy old men that are fucking all the women and, you know, running all the prostitution and gambling rings and everything. We're going to go out here on this state land and property that taxes have paid for, and we're going to have livestock and you know, honeybees and chickens and goats and fucking pot and fucking, you know, tobacco and whatever the hell we want to do. And you're all going to just shut up and leave us alone. Like, how come we can't do that? Why do we put up with this shit, man? I want to. Is there any Christian men out there that are dying and don't have any children? I'm a Christian. I want to. I will take care of your farm. Just put me in your will, because I want to get out of this mess. I'll sell my fucking house, and you know, I'll give you the money or something that I get from this place, and just put me in your will. And when you die, if you don't have any kids or if you hate your kids, I'm a good Christian man. Just give, you know, donate your farm to me, and I'll take good care of it. Or put the word out for me if you go to church or anything, because I'm looking for a way out of this mess. I don't want anything to do with it. It's a sin. My place isn't that bad. I could have bees right out back and chickens, so I should just shut up and do it. God's like, Stu, what's holding you back? They sell chickens right down at the Tractor Supply store or whatever. My friend takes care of bees, and he gets like jugs and jugs, like gallons of honey. or not, my cousin. That's not a lot of work taking. Man, no, what's a lot of work is the shit we're doing now. That's what's a lot of work, man. The shit we're doing now. That's the fuck is a lot of having a farm is a. They make it look like it's not fucking easy. I mean, it's men's work. It's fucking work for men. But what the fuck? You go to the gym all day and you fucking go. I can do 400 fucking pounds. Well, why can't you fucking drive a fucking tractor? We got technology now. It's not. It would maybe it was hard to have a farm fucking fucking 300 fucking years ago when you had to kind of be a blacksmith too or something, you know what I mean? You had to like you know what I mean, and sit there like with a fucking pushing a plow into the ground behind a fucking oxen and try to do 6 acres of land that way. Yeah, okay, yeah. That was fucking hard, right? For sure. Okay, there's things called tractors now and shit like that. and fucking, you know what I mean? It's like, you know, I'm just saying, farming is not what it used to be. It's not that fucking hard now. Bees pretty much take care of themselves, and if you don't get along with them, they have a bee suit, and you can spray them with what is it? Anesthetics, or not yeah, it's like an anesthetic or something like that. It's called. Chickens are great, man. Eggs are wicked important. I'd like to have a rooster though too. That's a little more. Now you're talking more work. It takes some getting used to butchering animals. A lot of people don't want to do that, and that is some work, especially a bigger animal. But if you got, that's why people had 5 kids, right? You got you got 5 little trigger pullers. And like, we can't do that anymore. Well, there goes America then, basically, because they're going to subsidize foreigners to come in here and do it then. That's the sick part about it. And the women here hate us. And then MGTOW's like, hey, women hate us. And they're like, oh, you guys hate women. What the fuck? It's like, what the fuck? I'm telling you, man. You can't make this shit up, man. I got a lot of dislikes, 7 dislikes, only 15 likes. Oh, I'm going to shut down my channel now. Oh, I'm sorry. Can I help? Is there something I said that was offensive to you? Uh, I think doing it for yourself, your family would not be too hard. I'm having a conversation with All Dicks Matter now. What are you guys doing here? Everybody lists. You don't have to say where you work, but just list your general occupation right now. There's 11 people. Like, what do you do? Oh, you're on so you live on a farm? Is that all you do, Aldix Matter? What do you do, LaShawn? Everybody, anybody care to at least type your basic occupation or what you do on the side to make money? Thank you, Steve Hoka. Cool, cool. Steve Hoka likes my channel. Thank you, sir. But no, I'm just wondering, like, what, you know, I work freaking basically 37 hours a week. And I could work more, 3 hours more. There's no overtime really, unless there's like some project that needs to get done because of a change or, but, or assessment or something. But like, man, I'm telling you, I could do, I could live on a farm and I would be active, you know, pretty much as I am now doing the 9 to 5er, but have a lot more pride and feel a lot more better about the food that I was eating. So I don't see where the benefit of all this disgustingness is, man, that we do, man, that we put up with. Unemployed, LaShawn, good luck to you. Hope you find a good job. Yeah, well, farm work is work, though. Wolfgang Maximus, load trailers and distribution center. All right, cool. Somebody works. That's the type of stuff that my sister did. See, my sister kind of prides herself on the type of stuff that a man would. You know what I mean? It's weird. Like, it's just what they've done to women now. My sister loaded trucks at unloaded trucks at Walmart. And she would brag about how she did it just as well as a lot of men. But it's like, you're a woman. You're bragging about man stuff. It's weird, man. That's fair. All right, so I'm gonna bring my camera with me today, or I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna try to be. I'm gonna try to be. Of all the things, like I said, that you have to remember when you're hunting, then you want to bring a camera too, and take videos. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but yeah, I'm gonna try to be diligent and bring and film a little bit. Maybe if I see some doe and I can't shoot at them, then I'll shoot at them. I'll shoot the cam. I'll shoot some footage of them. So anyway, I'm not going to tell you that I'm going to have the time to be like hit play on the video unless I see one coming. I've had instances where I've seen them coming for a ways, and I'm like, oh, and I can like literally do whatever. So if I see one coming for a ways, yeah. But if I'm going to shoot at one, I can't promise you I'm going to like hit play, prop my phone up somehow, pick up my gun, turn the optics lens on, aim, pop the safety off and fire. It's just, it ain't going to happen, man. So, but I'll keep it handy because I want to film some deer while I'm out there, show you guys. So, I got to get going because it's about 3:30. normally I would be just getting up right about now and starting to prepare to go out in the woods. So I just want to thank everybody and thank God, as in, my Father in heaven, and just thank all the men out there for, because, it's a pretty thankless thing being a man now. So, yeah, I want to thank all you men, and thank you, MGTOW.